What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying I'm proud. Proud to be a part of the YTBC, and I'm proud of the YTBC. And it just really feels good to be a part of a growing community. Last week, we had a situation with one of the YouTube residents, 78 Sports TV, and a big box fight hype. And in the article, they were basically throwing subliminal shots, questioning his boxing integrity. There was some misinformation that was reported with his source, and I took offense to that, along with a lot of you guys on the YouTube boxing community in the YTBC. And that's because we're all in the same boat. We get information as needed, and we try to present it and create this open forum to keep this sport thriving, to keep people talking, to keep the brain spinning. And we stood up for each other. That's what I really like about this shit. We stood the fuck up. When there was an outside source trying to build the house that we built, then we stood up for that, and we stood up for the cause. A lot of people made videos, response videos, myself included. 78 Sports did his own video. Carcino spoke on it, blood boxing, and the list goes on and on. That's the shit I like to see, that type of unity, that brotherhood. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't always agree. Sometimes people disagree. Sometimes they come to my channel, leave piss poor comments or criticize me or Carcino, 78, whoever. But just like Tupac said, we might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, we burn this bitch down, you get us pissed. And that's what the fuck happened. We united. And again, if we want to fight with each other and bring this shit down, and that's one thing, so be it. But we'll be damned if we let an outsider come in and ruin what we built. And that's this thing we love called boxing. So it's just real good to see that, and to see that type of activity. In addition, the YTBC has been posting that fire. 78 has a bunch of interviews, just him to the face. He did one with Adama, who's fighting Gennady Golovkin, Jesse Vargas. Then you look at Dante's Boxing Nation. He has a radio show. Props to him for the progression in that regard. He just had special guests, Kenny Porter and Sean Porter, along with 78 Sports. They did an hour-long segment with these fellas, a new champion, and I feel I learned more about Sean Porter as a fighter in that 50 minutes than I did on anything else I've seen him. I've seen televised fights with him, both Julio Diaz fights, and I got a glimpse of Sean Porter. They might have showed a tidbit or a statistic, if you will, of Sean Porter in the amateur, like his record or some shit. But in that interview alone, I feel I know a lot more about him. I didn't know all the details about him and Manny Pacquiao. And it's different hearing Jim Gray or somebody, Paulie Malignaggi, talk about it as opposed to the actual fighter. I heard it from his dad, from his pops, from Sean Porter himself. And that's great. And the YTBC cannot be fucked with. That's the point of this whole video. We are too strong, and we just need to keep doing what we're doing. Keep making the videos with the fight predictions and talking about potential fights. If Mayweather pisses you off, talk about that shit. If Pacquiao won't make a decision and is pissing you off, talk about that shit. If you want to boycott, talk about that shit. At the end of the day, it's only making the sport thrive even more because we're constantly talking. And at the end of the day, we got to let these boxers, these promoters, and everybody know, these trainers, that the YTBC runs this shit. And we're putting money into their pockets, so they need to respect the fan. And it's just good to see the good people of the YTBC unite. Again, I realize I've had my differences with certain people, blood boxing. But at the end of the day, we're all in it for the same thing. We love boxing. So whether we disagree or not, again, it comes with the territory, but we're not going to let some outside interference come into play and ruin that. So it's just real good, man. And like I said, I've seen a lot of good stuff on the YTBC. A lot of people even say they come straight to the YTBC, look on the timeline or videos to watch or recommended videos or whatever, and get all their boxing news. I had a guy say that he drives cross country in a fucking semi, and this is how he stays in touch with the boxing community, by watching my videos as well as some other channels. So this is big, man, and that's huge. And my promise, I can't speak for Carcino or 78 or Blood or Dante or anybody, but my promise, when I do my interviews, I'm going to try to get the best possible questions and the most bang for my buck to present back to you guys. And that's what it's all about. It's not about favoritism. It's not about asking the right questions in terms of questions that won't offend the fighter or walking on eggshells. Fuck that. It's about getting the most for the fan, because we're the ones that are keeping these people relevant, that are paying for their pay-per-views, that are buying tickets to these venues and selling them out, and buying Showtime when we didn't have Showtime because a ton of fighters went over there, or buying an HBO subscription. We're doing that. We're doing all of that. So my pact is to always try to give you that raw, uncut, and I can see my fellow YTBC uploaders are making that same promise. And at the end of the day, I think these fighters probably rather talk to us. And that's because real recognizes real, and they can relate to us. A lot of these fighters come from nothingness, Pacquiao included, Floyd Mayweather, Adrian Broner, damn near all the fighters that are relevant from Argentina, Sergio Martinez, Marcos Maidana, Lucas Matisse. They all come from the slums, the ghettos, poverty, not having much, poor education. So they rather talk to us. You know why? Because they can relate more to us. You might have went to an Ivy League college or got a degree in this or that, or be a millionaire, whatever the fuck, but they would rather talk to us because they can relate to us. They see the level of boxing knowledge. On Dante's Boxing Nation, Kenny Porter paid 78 Sports homage. He basically complimented him. He said, "Oh, hey, who is this? My brother, I hear you talking that talk." Because within minutes of talking to someone, you know that they're knowledgeable. And he was able to pick that up and detect that with 78 Sports. So this is all good stuff. And at the end of the day, there's some journalists, they might have more connections, or Mayweather on speed dial, or Pacquiao's like fucking Facebook and all kinds of extra shit. But what they don't possess is that raw, uncut ability. They want to be friends with the fighters. I'll be friends with a fighter, but that's still not going to stop me from putting you on the hot seat. Real shit. I just talked to a fighter on Twitter the other day, and if it comes down to it, there's a question, and I'll save that for an interview. I'm still going to ask him the question. I'm not going to hide and like, oh, he's cool with me, so not at, like, fuck that. So I know I'm rambling. Let me just close with saying this. The YTBC has been coming on so strong, and it feels really good just to be a part of it. And there's a certain level of authenticity, a certain level of realness, a certain level of just raw, unfiltered entertainment that can't be duplicated. And for that reason, they fear us. They fear the YTBC because they know where it all began and what's really keeping this sport afloat. So that's all I got to say, man. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.